Hey, okay, so I often record podcast episodes based on what is happening in the moment. And that's what this week is going to be. So if you're listening to this episode at the time that I'm recording this and that it will be published, it is currently August of 2024. And I have just started promoting and advertising that I'm doing another one of my short free challenges for women who are over 40 and busy professionals and struggling with perimenopause and menopause, all the things I always talk about, right? Well, from time to time, I do these short free challenges. And my goal is I want to help people women get a sort of a jump start on their journey. And I want you to have, just a little bit of a taste of what it's like to make some progress and to see some success. And I want to give you a taste of what it's like to work with me too, as a coach. If we were to work beyond this short free group, if we were to work together beyond that. And so a lot of our clients, before they get into the 12-week MRS program, they do one of these short free challenges. And like I said, they get a jump start, they get a little bit of success, they feel like a win, and they get some confidence. And that really oftentimes propels them into our 12-week program. And make no mistake, let me tell you, these short free groups are a wonderful way for me to market and advertise our longer coaching program. It's a business move too, because it's like when you go into Costco and they have the little cups, the little taster cups of a food. And they have, the lady is standing there and she's giving away little free bites of whatever the food product is. You taste it and you're like, oh shit, this is good. And you go buy 3 or 4 boxes of it, right? Well, in the same way, these short free groups give you a taste of what it's like to get strategy that works from an expert who knows what the hell I'm doing, what it's like to get the kind of support that you need on this type of a journey, both physical strategy and support, but also the mental, the mindset strategy and support. And just like it works at Costco, women who maybe you're a little skeptical, or you're like wondering what it would be like to work with me, but you're not quite sure, this is a way for you to get a taste of that. And oftentimes women are like, holy shit, I'm all in. If I had known earlier what this was about and what it was like to work with you and how this kind of support and actual strategy can propel me forward, sign me up. So there's all of that. Here's what I find, though. So often, what is holding women back, women like you who have tried all different kinds of diets, you've bought all kinds of products and gimmicks and junk that hasn't worked. One of the biggest hurdles is your lack of belief. And nobody can blame you. Like, I totally get it. I absolutely understand this perspective. It's like you have a hard time believing, one, that anything out there is actually going to work for you after you've tried, 15 zillion things. Two, you have a little bit of skepticism about spending more money on this endeavor. You fall down 7 times. What is the saying? They say you fall down 7 times, you have to get up 8. Well, sometimes the 7th time you fall down, you're like, what the hell's the point? Like, if I get back up, I'm just going to fall down again. And that's kind of simplifying it, but you get my point, right? You can only get beat down so many times until your mindset and your belief takes a battering and you start to lose faith. And sometimes that turns into, you know what? Screw it. Throw my hands up in the air. I'm 55 years old. Maybe getting older just means that you don't feel good and look good anymore. You have aches and pains. Your clothes don't fit. And it can even go so far as you starting to settle. And I dare say make excuses too. It's a lot easier, I will say, in some ways, to fall into that mindset of like, well, I shouldn't be vain at this age. Women shouldn't care what we look like at this age. The days of being sexy and feeling good in our bodies, that's older. And you can really go down that path of self-limiting beliefs, critical voice in your head taking over, a lack of belief in your worth and your ability to actually stick with something. And so I'm not going to sit here and say that this journey does not have to do with you having the right strategy. It absolutely does. This is a physical issue. Our metabolisms slow down naturally with age. Most of you, like me, have dieted so much your entire lives that yo-yo dieting and that constant years of restricting your intake, it also damages your metabolism. It compromises your metabolism. So throw that history of dieting on top of the natural transition that you're in with perimenopause and menopause and how that affects your metabolism. Those two things together are a horribly perfect storm for screwing you up on an internal metabolic sort of level. So absolutely, you have to have the right strategy for your body, your metabolism, to get your metabolism moving again. And the right strategy is not freaking dieting. That's what got you in this mess, or a big part of what got you in this mess in the first place. So I'm not saying there's not a metabolic strategy that has to be put in place. Absolutely, it does. And absolutely, if you've listened to my podcast or followed me on social media, you also know that that strategy cannot stay the same. It has to be monitored and it has to be adjusted. You need guidance with that. You can't continue to do the same thing that you've been doing. Even if it worked a little bit, you can't keep doing that and expect to continue to get the same type of consistent progressive results. So yes, there's strategy that is involved. But if you are listening to my voice, you also know that there is an emotional component, there is a psychological component, there is a mental and mindset component to this journey. How many times have you thought, if I just had the willpower, if I just could stay motivated or get motivated, if I could just be consistent, if I could just stop self-sabotaging, if I could just put myself on my priority list, whatever way that comes up in your life and however you describe that, those are all mindset components. Those are all related to the emotional and the psychological components that are very real on this journey. And for some people, for many women, and even at different points, more so, excuse me, that mental and mindset component is the toughest part of this battle. No, I'll call it a war. It can be the most difficult part of this war. And winning the war depends on you being able to overcome those mindset struggles. All the strategy in the world, even if it's the right strategy for your body, all the strategy in the world is never going to work and stick if you cannot overcome the mindset struggles, if you cannot overcome the self-sabotage and the pattern, the repeated pattern of that self-sabotage. It's never going to be enough to keep you on this path in a way that you can be consistent and that you can truly transform your life. And as they say, have a new quote unquote lifestyle. We like to talk about, I just need to make it a lifestyle, or you just have to make it a lifestyle. Well, what the hell does that actually mean? It means that you have to get control of and be able to master your mind in as much or even more as you master your meals, as you master your movement, as you master your habits and your discipline and all of those things, what goes on in your head on a consistent basis is oftentimes the biggest part of this battle. So back to this week, I am running one of those 3-day free challenges. And this time I'm running the Banish the Bloat challenge. And it is a powerful, really effective 3-day plan. So you get the strategy, what to do, what to eat, how to move, but it's also support. You get me coaching you on the mindset pieces, the emotional pieces, and giving you education and trainings on how to make those things work together. Because sometimes to begin a mindset battle and to change that mental component, the what's going on in your head, sometimes that needs to start smaller. You need to scale back from this idea that you have in your head that you need to lose 20, 30, 50, 100 pounds. You need to downsize your expectations, and you need to take just a tiny small chew off. You need to just conquer a little bit. You need to be consistent and all in for just a couple of days with a really effective strategy and really solid support. And sometimes when you do that, you can give yourself permission to engage, to believe, to actually act. You can say, it's only 3 days. I can do it for 3 days. Well, let's do this for 3 days and see what it gets me. It's not a huge commitment. And scaling back in that way allows your brain to let you have the freedom and the space in your head to focus on just that little bit. And when you do that with the right strategy and with the support, you start to grow just a little seedling of confidence and belief. And that gives you some momentum and opens your mind to the possibility of you going on and pursuing a longer journey with your health and your wellness and your weight and how you feel good, your energy and your sleep quality and your stress management, all of those things. It gives you a little bit of a push down that path toward that longer journey. That's why I do these short plans. And I really hope that you do it with me. And I'm going to drop a link underneath this episode. I really hope that you will give yourself the opportunity to do this with me. Sign up for it with the link underneath in the show notes under this episode. If you're listening, at the time, we're going to start on August 19th, Monday, August 19th. So if you're listening to this before Monday, August 19th of 2024, you can still get in. Heck, if you're listening to it on the 19th, the 20th, or even the 21st, you can still get in. You can send me a message and say, hey, I just found this link. I really still want to do this plan. Will you help me? And I'll send it to you. Okay. But if you do this with me, I want you to do it with at least the possibility, give yourself the room that you'll make this the start of a longer journey. Because I'm going to be really honest with you. I tell the women who do these short programs with me all the time, number one, this is just a temporary short-term plan. You can't continue to use the plan that I'm going to send you for what to eat and how to move. You can't keep using it over and over and continue to get results. It just doesn't work that way. It is intentionally designed to get you a quick win, to build a little bit of momentum. But if you continue to use what I send you in this plan, if you continue to try to do it over and over and over, I promise you that you'll be sorry, because it will further compromise your metabolism and you'll be in a worse place than you were before you did it if you try to use it long term. So don't do that. I'm very transparent about that. I beat that horse to death when I'm talking to women during the time we're doing the challenge. Don't freaking do this challenge if you think you're just going to duplicate these 3 days over and over and over, because you're not going to blame me when you gain 10 pounds down the road. That's very well what could happen to you. So know that it's a temporary plan, and don't even do it if you don't have some idea that at least you'll make room for the possibility that you will let this be the start of a longer term journey, whether that longer term journey is working with me or not, don't even waste your time if you're going to do this for 3 days and then just go right back to same old, because the gains that you earn during the 3 days, the short 3 days, the gains that you earn, you'll just lose, because we're going to work on things like dropping bloat. You're going to work on improving the inflammation, reducing the inflammation in your body. You're going to work on just the beginnings of improving your gut health and improving your sleep and getting more energy. And so all of those things taken together, and more that we'll work on, all of those things taken together most often result in a drop on the scale. You drop weight on the scale. Most women, when they do this 3-day challenge with me, they lose anywhere from 3 to about 7-8 pounds. I've had women lose, but it is not going to be the kind of weight that continues to culminate in fat loss weight. Okay. So you will lose some weight, but don't expect that's going to stay. You won't stay at that dropped weight if you only do it for 3 days and then you go right back to, eating and not moving and, living life the way you've been living it, because your metabolism is not fixed permanently. Okay. This is not a permanent fix. This is a temporary short-term jumpstart. But if you are hearing my voice and you have been thinking that you want to and you need to embark on a longer journey, a health journey that may include weight loss, a little or a lot, but it includes wanting to improve your healthy habits, wanting to live in a healthier way, wanting to have better sleep, wanting to cut through the cobwebs of the brain fog, wanting to have better digestive processes. Hell, stop being so constipated every day, wanting to feel better. That's what women tell me all the time. And of course, for many of the women that I work with, a majority of them, that includes losing fat weight off of your body, being able to be more active, not being constantly fatigued. If you're thinking like that's the journey that you want to go on, then by all means, I beg you, I implore you, sign up for this 3-day challenge. Give yourself an opportunity to get some quick wins, to feel a little bit better, and it will help you to embark on that longer journey. So that's why you hear me being so like intense and passionate about this, because I know what's on the other side. I've been on your side and I know how bleak that can feel, but I also know what it's like to get to the other side and stay over there. And believe me when I tell you, the freaking grass is greener over here. And I have helped hundreds and hundreds of women cross over into those greener pastures. Oh, that sounds kind of like a death analogy. That's not what I mean. You know what I mean. Cross over into living on this side of energy and health and feeling confident in your skin and comfortable in your clothes and getting dressed for work and not thinking about how tight my clothes are and how people are going to be looking and do my bulges hang over my pants. Instead, feeling like, hell yeah, I feel sexy and good in these clothes. If that's the journey that you want to be on, if that's the other side of the fence that you want to be on, then again, sign up for this 3-day challenge. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself just a couple of days to believe that you can actually make positive change. I promise you, it'll be worth it. You will absolutely love the way you feel. So many of my clients start in this 3-day group, and this challenge is just the beginning of them losing 20, 30, 50 more pounds. It is the journey that is truly the pivotal point. It is the turning point where they change their lives. And if you start with just opening your mind to the possibility that your life can be different and better, You absolutely can live in a different way, feel in a different way. A month down the road, 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, a year down the road, you can be living a totally different life and have a totally different outlook mentally and physically. That is not an exaggeration. That is a freaking promise. And I have been there for hundreds of women as they change over and transform their bodies inside and out, head and body. You can transform your life. I've been there for it. I've done it. I'm living it. I'm walking proof of it. And I have hundreds of clients who are also proof of it. Give yourself that opportunity. Sign up for this 3-day challenge. And if you are listening to this episode at some point in the future, reach out to me, because I do these groups a couple of times a year. Hell, you never know. You might be listening at a time when I am about to do one, or I have one planned, and you can get in on another one. And if that's not the case, then reach out to me and tell me that you really want to change, and I will give you tips for how you can get started, challenge or not, that I am doing. Thanks so much for being here with me this afternoon. It always means the world to me that you're listening to my voice or watching this episode on YouTube. I would love to hear you. If you would do me a favor and rate and review this episode or just the podcast in general, I would love you forever. Share it with a friend, and I will meet you right back here next time.